welcome back to my channel. Today what we are going to be going over is the 2020 presidential election if Senator Bernie Sanders were to secure the the Democratic presidential nomination, which is no longer in contention. But this is an alternative scenario to see if he would actually expand on Joe Biden's map. So personally, I think that Bernie Sanders would improve in the Midwest. I think that he has more of a Midwestern appeal compared to Joe Biden, and I think that he would definitely appeal more to Latino voters. However, I do think that he would fare a little bit worse in the black voter department. I don't think that he necessarily would improve with black voters, and would probably either stay the same or do slightly worse with white voters. So, I think that he would pick Rohana as his running mate, just saying that out forward. I think these would generally be the safe states. Nothing too big has changed. I'm not going to characterize West Virginia. I do think that New Mexico would be a safe state because of his appeal to Latino voters. And I think Trump's safe states would be similar. Looking at like different polling and stuff, I think that Mississippi would probably be safe. I don't think that he would turn out black voters enough, as they typically would be. Yeah. So in this scenario, I think that Utah would be likely. This is a little interesting. I think that due to polling showing that Bernie was pretty popular in the state of Utah, and he did win the Utah primary, Democratic primary, by quite a decent margin when Joe Biden did a huge swing all across Super Tuesday states, including the state of Massachusetts, which was either favored to go to Elizabeth Warren or Bernie Sanders, and Joe Biden pulled off an upset win. And he also flipped the state of Maine, which also went to Bernie Sanders. He won. He was pretty close in the state of California, pretty close in Colorado, despite Bernie winning it. There were a lot of states that Bernie was actually in contention to win, and Joe Biden literally destroyed his chances, mainly due to his Super Tuesday win. However, when looking at different characterizations, I think the state of Montana would be likely. I think Nebraska's first would be likely. That's an interesting characterization. And Nebraska at large would be likely as well. South Carolina would still be likely. I think that because of the leftward turn that South Carolina has been going in, it has been getting closer and closer every single election. It was, I believe, either 8 or 9 points in the gubernatorial race back in 2018. I could see that being around the same margin for the presidential race, and I could see it getting even closer for the Senate race. I think the state of Missouri would be likely. I think the state of Indiana would be likely as well, along with the state of Alaska. Alaska's a little difficult because they definitely have more independent-minded thinkers, and potentially might go more towards Bernie Sanders. I believe they did give Ralph Nader, the Green Party candidate, 10% of the vote back in 2000. I think just 2000, yeah. So yeah, I think, well, looking at these likely Democratic states, I think the state of Minnesota and Michigan, along with the state of Pennsylvania, would be likely, along with Virginia. I think New Hampshire potentially could even flip to being, not New Hampshire, it could be a safe margin for Bernie Sanders due to his extremely large appeal to the Northeast. I also think that Maine at large would be going towards Bernie Sanders, and I think Maine's 2nd congressional district would be a lean margin for Senator Sanders. I don't think he would win it as in a large margin as Barack Obama did. However, I think that with 2 different candidates, both being populist in their own messages, I think that definitely Bernie Sanders would appeal more to these types of voters. I think Nebraska's 2nd could be a lean district, and from that, I forgot about Colorado and Nevada. I think those would be likely as well. Now moving into our lean states. First, I did put Nebraska's 2nd congressional district as well, as along with Maine. I think the state of Wisconsin would be lean. Again, these are pretty difficult to predict. However, I think Texas would be lean, nearing a likely margin. I think that despite the fact that Bernie Sanders would overperform with Latino voters, I think a lot of the white voters and black population definitely would not necessarily turn out for Bernie Sanders as he would hope for. He hoped for them to turn out back in the presidential primary. However, they did not. So just keeping that in mind. I think the state of Georgia would be a tilt Republican state. I don't see Senator Sanders having too much of an appeal here. I also see the states of North Carolina and Florida very narrowly going for President Trump. I know I'm doing it by characterization. However, I do think that characterizing Georgia includes these two states. I think same reasons as the state of Texas. I think that he would not necessarily turn out black voters enough, especially with white voters too. And despite the fact that he is overperforming with Latino voters, I don't see him necessarily winning these. When it comes to the state of Arizona, I think that he would very narrowly win the state of Arizona. The heavy Latino population here could definitely turn out for Bernie Sanders, probably in a similar way that it would for Joe Biden. However, I don't necessarily see too much appeal for Bernie Sanders in the state of Arizona. However, I do see him winning over more independents in the state than Donald Trump, especially with Arizona going more and more blue. When it comes to the state of Iowa and Ohio, I think the state of Iowa would very narrowly go for President Trump, and I think the state of Ohio would very narrowly go for Bernie Sanders. I think that despite the fact that that Bernie Sanders did win the Iowa caucuses, I think that he would keep it close on the state of Iowa, but I don't think he would win it in the end of the day because I think it's too much of a margin to overcome. I mean, Donald Trump won this state by about 9 points back in 2016. It's going to be very difficult for any Democrat to really flip this state unless they're from the state of Iowa, to which no actual presidential candidate was from the state of Iowa. But yeah, this is the final electoral map. Oh, I forgot to talk about Ohio. I think that Bernie Sanders' appeal to the Midwest and working class voters would definitely narrow up the margins. I think that potentially he could even narrow up the margin in West Virginia, which may seem pretty insane in hindsight. However, I think that his message with coal miners could definitely resonate. However, yeah, this is the final electoral map. Bernie Sanders and Ro Khanna would have 309 electoral votes to Donald Trump's 229. This is about the same amount of electoral votes that I think Joe Biden would get, kind of replacing Ohio with Florida. Joe Biden would do potentially a little bit better. However, I could definitely see Bernie Sanders outperforming this margin in a way that Joe Biden probably cannot. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe. Let me know some suggestions in the comments down below. And thank you.